Okay, my name is Patrick Muzingo.
My full name is Amorette Muzingo.
Oh, my name is Tim Noel Reynolds.
My name is Karen Gross.
My name is Eric, aka Tumor Britton. 34 years old.
41 years old.
I'm 13.
45 years old.
I'm 43 years old.
Although on the inside, I'm still 10.
I've been skating for about 22, 23 years.
I've been skating about 8 months or so, like a year almost.
I skated ever since I was probably about, I don't know, 8 or 9, on and off up to 43.
I started skating 25 years ago.
Started skating when I was about 9 or 10 years old.
Occupation, I'm a professional skateboarder.
I work as a physical therapist.
My occupation is a student.
My current job is an interesting one. I've been doing freelance web and flash animation and design and programming.
Plumber. I'm a plumber, yeah. That's my work.
When I was little, I always used to watch my dad like fool around on a skateboard or something like that, and I always was like so fascinated with it. I always wanted to learn it, but I was kind of too scared. And then about a year or so ago, I started to want to get into it because some of my friends were doing it. And so he just, in the parking lot of our apartment, he just got me a skateboard and we just started like putting around and yeah.
Some friends of mine that lived down the street had a small quarter pipe ramp. I didn't know anything about skating, so they taught me how to go up and down and kick turn up and down. Then the quarter pipe, we decided to build a half pipe, and then from there built a huge half pipe.
My dad bought me a Whammo skateboard. It was orange when I was about 3 years old. My earliest memories of me riding that thing is flying down this little courtyard driveway by my house, grabbing the rail and doing little hand-down power slides. When I was about 12 or 13, my dad moved me out of the hood and into Santa Monica. I'm really glad that I got involved in skateboarding. You know, skateboarding saves lives, that's for sure. You know, there's a lot of other things I could have been involved in if I had grown up in a really bad neighborhood or didn't have skateboarding in my life.
I started skating with friends, just kids on the street. I started skating just to get to go someplace. That was my mode of transportation, my skateboard.
It would have been probably the Z-Boys back in the day. You know, if you ever saw the Dogtown movie, all the Z-Boys, they were all surfing and skating around here, so I used to hang at the beach and I started skateboarding.
My worst fail so far was probably at the skate park Pedlo when it was just this like little hill and I was trying to go down it and I leaned too far forward and I guess I bruised my ribs or something, and like I kept doing it and doing it, not knowing that it was making my ribs worse and worse, and by the next day I was just like totally in pain.
In a pool in Upland, California, at the pipeline, I fell and tore all the ligaments in my knee. Is that what you want to hear?
I guess it would have been at Chino one time. I bailed out of I don't know, 10-foot bowl and smacked my rib on the way down on the coping, and it was a busted rib for a couple of months.
I've broken several bones, both legs, both ankles several times, both wrists several times, my collarbone, and just, you know, over the years, tons and tons of damage has been done to my body.
At 81, I was skating at Lance Mountain's half pipe, and we had just got done doing an interview with Lance about our half pipe, so he decided to bring us over to his. And I went up and did a rock and roll and came back around and realized that my front foot wasn't there, and my front foot just spun around, or my ankle spun around and came back. And there's been bails where, you know, body slams and stuff, but nothing compared to that. I was out of it for at least 6 months.
Probably one of my favorite sessions is probably right now when I just learned how to go over the little dome thing and carve around the little mini ramp and carved around it all the way. It was cool.
Recently, it would have been called the Gravy Bowl up north in Santa Monica, here up in the Santa Monica Mountains. Me and all the boys had a pool for a couple of days that we got to skate, so that was one of my favorite sessions recently.
When I was just a little grom and I had just gotten sponsored by Dogtown, it was the first time I had met like the legends, the people that I looked up to, you know, Tommy Guerrero and Christian Asoy and Steve Caballero, and they were all down here from up north. and we all went and skated this place called the Airport Banks. It used to be over by the LAX airport. It was a highlight of like the beginning of my career, just to be able to be involved with these people that I saw in the magazines and things like that, and I'm in the car next to them, driving around town with them, you know. It was like, puts a smile on my face as I'm talking about it, you know. It's like,
when I was 10 and 11, skating the Marina Del Rey skate park, just really by myself or with a couple of friends, skating with people like Tony Alva and people like Pat Noho and people like Steve Caballero and Scott Foss and stuff like that, when they really weren't that good. I mean, everybody was on an equal level in 79 and an 80, and having to get to see Christian Hosoi when he was, you know, a little kid and just skating the little small stuff. The days where I was really naive about skateboarding and just having a blast, kind of like now.
When I was 16, we went to a place in Paramount, California. They had clover pools, and there were 6 of us skating all at once. It was really fun. There was different sized pools, and we were riding and crossing and riding and crossing, and it was a lot of fun.
my favorite would be bowl riding. Anything cement, a backyard pool, a skate park pool, something with round walls.
I like to bowl skate the most, but I'm trying to learn how to do these ollies and all that now, because I guess if you're an old schooler like me, if you can't ollie, you can't skate. You know, that's what all the youngsters tell me.
I enjoy like vert skating, like going up ramps and going down hills. I just love the speed. I'm not really good at street skating because I haven't even like tried it yet. So hopefully I'll learn to like that too.
The kind of skating I do now is kind of like the skating I did when right before I quit, is vertical. I still like the small mini ramp stuff because you can work things out. I don't like street skating. I get hurt street skating. I'll hit a pebble and I'll probably end up being out of it for a year. But just like skating this pool and hanging out with a bunch of, you know, guys my own age, it's a blast.
The type of skating I like are skate parks. Street skating, not so much. I prefer pools, half pipes, or mini ramps.
My advice to new skaters is probably like learn how to fall and become good at learning how to fall, because it's going to come really useful. And just don't think about things, just go for it. And yeah.
Advice for new skaters: wear pads, at least a helmet. Learn the basics. Don't try to ollie first. Learn how to kick turn, learn how to carve. You know, all that stuff will come in time. The advice I got to give to anybody is learn the basics, as in with anything. Going through life, you learn the basics first, and then everything else will come a lot easier.
Don't get discouraged. Get comfortable riding on the flat ground first before you try any skate parks. But don't get discouraged if you enjoy it. Stick with it. It's a lot of fun. It's great exercise. It's my yoga. I call it my yoga. And just hang in there. Bend your knees.
Don't get discouraged, you know. Don't give up. It's not something that's going to come easily. It's going to take a while. You're going to get injured. You know, it's a dangerous sport, but it gives you something that a lot of other things can't give you. It's an art form in a sense, and it kind of makes you feel good inside. It gives you a lot of accomplishment when you overcome, you know, certain things that you've been trying to do for a long time, and you finally make that breakthrough. So, you know, stand strong, skate hard, stay out of trouble, and support your local skateboarders, and get your parents to go to the city councils and get more skate parks built, and get your family involved in everything, you know. Skateboarding can be a family sport. It's not, it's got a stigma about a bad boy, you know, but it's not. It's really a positive thing for kids to be involved in. Oh, I'd like to thank my sponsors, yeah, Santa Monica Airlines, SMA. It's the Eric Britton model. Check it out, www.santamonicairlines.com. And all the people that paid